Thank you for being here both. Commissioner Bray, I've got a question. You answered a question earlier today, a little bit ago, about the radio communication. You were excited to answer about radio communication between fire and EMS and police, which is great. And my dad was a forest ranger, so I know that those radio communications weren't always, and this was back in the day.
Yeah.
Technology has leapt forward. We're doing a lot better in that department, and we're always playing catch up. My concern is my district is in the North Country, the Adirondacks, right? Yeah. I represent a lot of the North Country. We get things like snowstorms and ice storms quite frequently. And of course, most of your emergency incidents originate not from these communications between emergency first responders, but from civilians, our residents, our constituents, with a cell phone. I reached out to my sheriffs, and some sheriffs said about half the calls to their 911 center are cell phones. Some of my sheriffs said the vast majority are originating from cell phones. And as you know, where I'm going, we have significant problems with cell service in the North Country and in the Adirondacks. In fact, one of the things that disturbed me is for the World University Games, which just concluded in Lake Placid, the world was coming, the spotlight was on us, and the solution, the temporary solution to lack of cell service was emergency cell on wheels cows from Verizon were pre-positioned around the Adirondacks, which for visitors it was great, and it gave the appearance that we had cell service. But for the rest of the residents and travelers like myself, we don't have good cell service the rest of the year when the World University Games aren't in town. What is the state doing to address this critical public safety issue? We are lagging behind. We've done a lot of work in broadband, but the other half of this is cell service. And again, the residents statewide deserve to have good coverage.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is a real challenge that we don't have appropriate cell coverage in the Adirondacks for our emergency first responders. I've spent a lot of time with the emergency managers in Hamilton and Essex, thinking, working on this. We have funding available. We have distributed funding to these counties to increase access to cellular. Unfortunately, the attempts to do that get blocked locally out of, I believe, concern for the park. And so we have to keep working on new ways and new options.
If I could interrupt you, because I've got limited time, the APA that I have regular communication with says that they've been approving things faster than ever. I have not heard from local government that local government is holding up cell service. I think it might be an economic issue for these private providers, but it is not local government, it's not county government, it is not the APA that is saying no. There are some environmental groups that like to slow the roll on cell service, but it isn't the APA and it isn't local government. Is there a plan to provide some sort of funding mechanism from the state to partner, like we did with broadband, to partner to increase and incentivize co-location and all these things? So this is a real issue in the North Country.
Yeah, I'm happy to follow up.
I wish you would, talk to the APA and the second floor. This is a critical issue, and it is not local government and it is not the APA that is saying no to applications.
Okay.